What is up, everybody? Skratch coming up with another Raid Shadow Legends video. Hope you guys are having an amazing day. In today's video, as promised, we're gonna have a look at the new Great Hall. I'm gonna share with you guys the best tips about what to upgrade in there, what mistakes to avoid, because it's gonna be pretty important, guys. Very similar with the current Great Hall. You know, you wanna start with the right things. You don't wanna waste medals on the things that are not as important early on. You wanna make the most out of it. Is a very grindy aspect of the game. It's gonna take years to complete, and because of it, you want to make sure you are putting your points in the right things early on. A lot of people, even with a regular Great Hall, tend to go, you know what, the best thing to do is go and get that crit damage because I've seen that post on Reddit. Oh my god, super amazing. No, you do not want to do that. That's literally like basically cutting your own legs off. You want to prioritize the things that give you the most value out of it in order to allow your account to progress faster. And when you are past the progression part, you want to make sure you have the things that matter the most in the game. Now, when we are talking about the new Great Hall, the area bonuses. So we have the potion keeps, we have the Ice Golem, the Fire Knight, the Dragon Slayer, the Hydra, the Clan Boss, the Spider. And they are based on different grades. Grade 1 takes less medals to upgrade. Grade 2 takes more medal to upgrade. And of course, Grade 3 takes even more medals to upgrade. Now, what you want to do right here is completely skip the potion keep. You don't need to do it in order, so you can go at whatever grade you guys want, whatever area as well. So either a dungeon, either the clan boss, either the Hydra. Quick tip right here when we are talking about clan boss. A lot of you guys will go in here because, you know what, I'm struggling with clan boss. I really gotta make sure I'm getting the right things in. Remember, if you are changing speeds. So if some of you guys might go and do this right now, bang, your clan boss team might be kaput. You know, you might have issues with it because you increase the speed, right? So you gotta keep that in mind as well. You're gonna have to readjust the speeds on your champions, so make sure you are avoiding this mistake. Now, what should we prioritize on this Great Hall? So how I mentioned, completely skip the potion keeps. Nobody will need that, at least not at the moment. I'm not sure if they're gonna do anything else in the future, but at the moment, potion keeps are a waste, and probably this should be the last thing in this Great Hall that anyone would wanna invest in. Ice Golem, exactly the same situation. And then you're left with the Fire Knight, Dragon, Spider, Hydra, Clan Boss. Out of all these, again, the Dragon Slayer is the easiest area, so you wanna drop that out. And you're left with the Fire Knight Castle, Spider's Den, Hydra, Demon Lord. When we are talking about the Spider's Den as well, it's fairly easy to complete that content as well, so you gotta scrap that off as well in terms of priority, and you're gonna be left with Demon Lord, Hydra, and the Fire Knight, the new hard mode, which is very hard. Out of all the content we have available in the game, the Fire Knight is the hardest. So should we prioritize that? Now, if you are still early-ish in the game, progressing, you haven't completely developed your account, Clan Boss might be the place to start with. So some of you guys might need that extra damage to get the top chest. You might need the extra speeds, the extra accuracy. So right here, you see you have different stats. You have HP. This should be the last priority on it. Then you have attack. This is definitely a thing that you might want to consider, especially if you are running unkillable teams. You have defense. You have ignore defense. This honestly is not really going to give you a massive value on the clan boss, so don't jump on it thinking that this is the right thing to do for clan boss, because it won't give you so much value, especially if you're still kind of like developing your account. Then speeds. Yes, you might have issues with the speeds, so keep that in mind as well. Then you have crit damage. Crit damage very important too. Attack, crit damage will give you a lot of extra damage. But some of you might be struggling with the accuracy. If you are struggling with the accuracy, make sure you are giving a couple of levels in here. Go all the way up to level 4, level 5, depending on how how many medals you actually have available, and then prioritize attack and crit damage for clan boss. That's of course if that's your main priority, clan boss. Clan boss does give the best rewards in the game, so you want to make sure you are kind of like maxing the rewards on clan boss on daily basis. Then we're left with Hydra, and we're left with the Fire Knight. Now this is already a bit of kind of like more in-game-ish stuff. If you are struggling in Hydra, yes, getting the extra accuracy, the extra resistance, the extra speed is huge. Getting the extra survivability on Hydra is huge. HP, defense. Then worry about the damage. Mainly because most of you guys will use enemy max HP hitters on Hydra, might use champions like Geomancer. Those they don't need to have a lot of attack. It's pretty easy to cap the enemy max HP hit, the 10% with like 220, 230 crit damage if you have defense down and weaken on the Hydra heads. So focusing on getting a lot of attack and crit damage for Hydra is definitely not the best option. Yes, it's amazing on a Tranda to kill Heart, Cupidus, and all these champions to do Heart Hydra, but that's something that you're gonna do only if you're kind of like at a higher level in the game. End game, your gear is gonna be more decent, and yeah, you're already doing the job. You don't need to overkill on Hydra hard, you know, it's kind of like waste of time. Better use of medals, let me put it like that. Plus, keep in mind, the next difficulty of Hydra will come out, and it's not gonna have an issue in terms of how much attack I need on my champions, how much crit damage I need on them. The thing that is gonna matter in there is gonna be the accuracy, the resistance, the speed, the survivability, you know, so keep that in mind as well while you are going through the Hydra. Then we have the almighty, the Fire Knight's Castle. So right here, guys, yes, you don't need around 330 plus accuracy. In terms of speed, God knows how much you need, but you need a lot of speed. And then, of course, survivability, damage, everything matters. Now, the one thing I would prioritize on the Fire Knight's Castle will be ignore defense. Why? Because it's not as easy to have a full DPS team to smash those waves fast, you know, so prioritizing ignore defense will help all your champions to kill the waves much faster. That will allow you to have a faster time. Now, of course, not having the right survivability at the boss can be tricky. Not having the right speeds, accuracy can be tricky as well. So the main thing I would prioritize on the Fire Knight will be ignore defense, speed. I don't think I'm struggling with 330 accuracy. The majority of you guys that are planning to do the hard mode Fire Knight won't be struggling with 330 accuracy. So going on survivability could be huge. 20% HP, 20% defense. You will get some attack as well, but you can leave that for a bit later on. The reason why we need survivability on this boss is because you're not going to be able to control the turn meter like before. So the boss will actually take turns and will damage you, so you want to keep that in mind. On the Dragon Slayer, again, if you're using a seer for the waves, yes, ignore defense will help you. If no speed, accuracy, survivability, if you're using Theodores or different comps like that, should be the main priority. And how I mentioned, Ice Golem, Potion Keeps, long forgotten, will be a long time till we're gonna get there. We got a new reflex set from Live Arena, guys, right? With speed. There isn't really much to farm in the Ice Golem anymore. Yes, reflex 40% chance is still better than 30% chance plus the speed if you really want that reflex. Provoke gear is still good, not as popular anymore. There is no reason to farm this dungeon, honestly. And it gives you less silver. The rest of the sets are kind of like meh. And the only time when we should farm the Ice Golem is when we're doing fusions and we need to do it for tournaments and things like that, you know, but that's kind of like my opinion. So how we should prioritize the whole Great Hall, guys. If you're progressing through the game and you want to maximize your rewards and you're struggling with the Demon Lord, you don't have a 1-key team yet, you can slowly start from there, make your way to Hydra, make your way all the way to the Fire Knight, because the Fire Knight is going to be very end game. So if you're still progressing through the game with the hope that I'm going to do this Great Hall and I'm just going to jump over and do Fire Knight stage 10 hard mode, you're completely wrong. And trust me, you have a better use of putting your medals into Demon Lord, Hydra, because that will give you tons of rewards as well, and slowly move over to the Fire Knight. Then of course you have the Spiders then if needed. You have the Dragon Slayer, the Ice Golem, and the last one you have the Potion Keeps. Now if you're not progressing through the game, you're extremely end game, you're fine with Hydra, fine with Clan Boss, I would prioritize Fire Knight, Hydra, and after, I don't know, I would just move to other things to kind of like speed up my runs a bit. There is other content coming in the future in the game. That's kind of like they're preparing us with all this, but that's what I would personally do. So just so you guys can see it, we're gonna try to get a bit of more speed right here, because I want to do the Fire Knight, right? That's kind of like my main thing. You see, you're not getting that much speed out of it. Yes, once you max it, getting 20 speed is actually pretty good, but we're gonna try to get a bit higher if we can. Seems like we don't have enough medals, so we're gonna have to do that later on. Now we're gonna try to pretty much use everything here, you know. We're gonna use all our bronze on the Fire Knight. Basically what we're doing right now is nerfing the Fire Knight dungeon. This is the crit damage, that's fine. I feel like the main thing that some of my champions are lacking once I get at the boss is having survivability. So getting some extra defense, you know, and then getting some HP is gonna be amazing. Then I'm gonna work on getting the rest of the things done, you see. So we've done all that. Now I'm gonna work a bit on the accuracy. That will allow me to get even more survivability on my champions. So once you get everything to level 3 with the bronze ones, then you're gonna be able to move to the higher ones with the silver, the gold medals. Of course, it's gonna take a bit of time. I didn't really had a chance to play this game out a lot. I've only done like 40 fights since the release, but maybe some of you guys went a bit crazier on it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. How you started developing your Great Hall, what area you chose as your first area and why. I'm very curious to know your thoughts as well, guys. That was all for this video. Hopefully you find it helpful. Appreciate all of you guys watching, and I'll catch you all soon in the next video. Peace.